Was it a surprise? Yes, absolutely. I don't think anyone was expecting that. Everybody was really expecting the worst outcome of this election. I mean, in the first round, the far right arrived in top. And as for my reaction when I discovered the results was quite literally a sigh of relief. I was holding my breath the whole time, and finally, my reaction was, wow, crisis averted. We escaped the worst all over again. But until when? So the next couple of weeks are going to be crucial. That will be a formation of the government. So it will be a coalition government, and multiple factors are at stake. Macron will have to make a choice, a critical and a choice with the left. There are people on the left with whom he clearly does not want to deal with or to govern with. So you will have a lot of compromises being made. And that's a bit the point of the coalition. And the left, even within the left, there are a lot of divisions in between parties, even though they were united for this election. So the question is, what topic, what project are going to be compromised or left aside to be able to be part of the government? And it will be a sort of Game of Thrones, because in the end, Macron still has a lot of power. And we'll have, and this is a novel situation in this country, even though we had cohabitation before, but we had cohabitation, coexistence with more conventional parties. It's the first time we have it with a far left party as well. So it's going to be interesting on a constitutional level to see what is possible. I would say that President Macron's legacy will be one of achieving a full normalization of far-right policies. And he put a lot with the snap election that took everyone by surprise, really. Very few people were expecting this. Put people in dire situation. And when you are a genius, you do not put people in dire situation, even more if you are the president of the republic. And when I mean putting people in really dangerous situation, I mean vulnerable minorities have been attacked, including physically. The racism has been out even more than the usual. You would hear things that, I mean, you would have heard before, but not at this level. And if that was his plan to kind of take over control of the situation, then I don't think it's a genius move. I think it's the move of a spoiled child who just want to keep power. And this is not how you run a country. And you don't put democracy at stake when you are president. And that's what he did. The traditional party system as we know it is no more. Really, I think that's the end also of centrist parties. The political landscape in France has been deeply polarized, deeply divisive, and we have seen that with the right wing, which barely hide its connection with the far right. There has been issue within the Les Républicains party, and also with the left. So now we have some sort of new political landscape. Now we need to be careful to not fall into another new establishment. I think the people have been clear. They are tired. They do not trust the establishment. They do not trust traditional political parties. They want something new. They want politicians, I would say, regardless from which political side they are from, to listen to them, to actually be concerned with their daily struggles. And Macron's new government, or whoever is going to be prime minister next, need to take this into account, because it cannot be just a short momentum. The far right may not have won this time, but keep in mind that their policies are already into place. And we shall be careful for 2027, which is coming very soon. And if nothing is done, we are all over again giving them a possibility of taking power on a silver platter. I absolutely would not be surprised if it did, both on the right and the left side, to be fair. Clearly, there have been a lot of discussions around the genocide in Gaza, and clearly it has divided the country into two camps. Really, those who want a two-state solution, and the other who are firmly supporting Israel and quote unquote its right to defend itself. And this has deeply impacted the current political landscape. And actually, just recently, probably this morning or last night, a very high-level member of LFI declared that one of the first move her party wants to make was to recognize the state of Palestine. And clearly, it won't be easy, and a lot of heated discussions will be coming next. But clearly, the role of this bloody war has an impact into our political landscape and our policies. I think Europe needs to remember from where it comes from. We have a very dark history. The far right is not a normal party, even if it has been normalized. The far right is a deeply racist, xenophobic, anti-Semitic, anti-Muslim, anti-women party. And the very fact that it's now normal to have them in our political system just reveal that we have already forgotten our past, our very dark past. And, the far right might be mainstream today, but its soul is still very rotten. And it is a danger for our democracies. And one of the main issues is really that even more traditional parties have adopted their narrative. The far right might not be into power, but their policies are. I have said it many times. And I think Europe needs to learn that the far right will not serve its people. It will serve themselves and their despicable political agenda.